And right now joining us is Tom Goodman with NEFC, and he is the director there. And Tom, welcome to Toronto. What a day it is here at the 2013 Coaches Conference. What brought you out here?
I was invited by Anthony Capitosta to present at this great event, coaches event. I'll be lecturing this afternoon, running a training session for a youth club team this evening, and also running a session for youth club team tomorrow.
So what are you specializing here today for all the coaches to learn from your great experience that you're bringing here?
Well, in the classroom, we're going to be discussing how to create a great, challenging training environment. On the field, try to demonstrate and model appropriate training activities for kids at U12 and U13 ages.
Now, Tom, a lot of coaches are here today to learn from you and others like Sasho and Andrea Neal and so many great coaches that are here today. But how do you learn, Tom? Because I'm sure that you don't stop learning. Where do you go? And how do you learn to get better as well?
I learn by watching the coaches within my own club. I enjoy watching. I always take something away from watching other coaches work. Also at the national conventions and events such as this, watching my counterparts perform out on the field is a huge learning environment for me.
And what do you grab out of some of the things that you are learning from them and you are seeing on a day-to-day basis?
It's really their approach to managing the players and getting the most out of the players. That's always something that I'm striving to do better. Anybody can run an activity, anybody can run a drill, but getting the most out of the players is what I'm striving to do better.
And that's a difficult task because every player has different attitudes, different mood swings in trainings and in games, and mentally they might not be on their best, whether it's a practice or a game. So how do you go about fixing that?
I think it all starts with creating an environment in the training session that looks like the game. At the end of the day, these kids and these players want to play the game. So less drill-like, more game-like is my motto.
That's wonderfully said, because I think a lot of coaches make it too regimented, too structured, instead of just letting loose a bit and letting the kids express themselves. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, I agree totally. Even though there are times that you have to choreograph some things, you know, and make it drill-like just to paint the picture for the kids. But at the end of the day, I'll go right back to that. You can only get better at playing the game by playing the game. So.
Tom, let me ask you this. At the ages of, let's say, 7 to 11, there's a different way to coach the kids. And then as they get older, you have to coach them almost like young men and talk to them like men. So, distinguish how you go about teaching these coaches, how they got to coach the young kids and then the older ones.
Well, it's important to understand what kids at the different age groups are like, characteristics of the kids. And that goes to a number of different components. How are they psychologically? How are they socially? How do they learn? So what I try to do is model in the training sessions, when I'm on the field, model how to treat these players, respect them for who they are on the field and what age they're at, and create a training environment that focuses on those characteristics. So U7 to U11, certainly the golden age of development for young players. It's got to be fun. It's got to be an enjoyable environment, and at the same time, it's got to be highly technical. So fun, technical games that will, increase their talent, their ability.
A lot of times you mentioned the word environment, and I want to talk a little bit about that. The environment when it comes to the parents, the moms and dads. Yes, they care about their kids and they want to watch them in training. But I feel personally, it's only my opinion, I think it's best to leave the coaches and their assistants alone in training. So that environment, that player knows it's all about the coaches and getting their attention, because moms and dads might see something they don't like and give a look to the player, say something and what have you. What do you think about that?
No, I agree. I think if you look at other professions like dancing, piano playing, whatever, you will find that when parents bring their children to those lessons, they're not in the room because the kid has to be focused. So I would agree it's the same thing in soccer, that the kids have to be focused on what the coaches are trying to get accomplished in the session. So it's better if the parents are off to the side and aren't involved in the training session or getting the kids' attention in the training session.
Closing it out, Tom, what advice would you give for that young man, that young woman that's starting today, their first day maybe in coaching at the house league, at the little kids level? What would you want to tell them?
I would just say, can you go in with a great, fun attitude, and certainly try to get some coaching education at the basic level, just to learn how to organize a training session and so forth. But let the game help you teach the players. Don't be so overwhelmed with, I've got to do this in training. Let the game sort of help you there. Yeah.
Tom, again, welcome to Toronto. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you for giving all your wealth of knowledge to all the coaches that have come here. And again, a great success in the area that you're at, helping out all the coaches.
Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it.
That is Tom Goodman. We are now joined by head coach Lyndon. Lyndon, welcome here to the Coaches Conference 2013 at the U of T campus. These young men today had the opportunity, in my opinion, to train with one of the best in North America, Tom Goodwin. What did these boys take out of it that you're going to implement and help out training this year?
Strictly covering, defending, pressuring, like they all learn, closing down tight on the defense. Just that for now.
Sir, your name?
Manny Corona.
Manny, talk about how important this is for your young boys here to come down here to be with all these other coaches that are learning and watching.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's something that we communicate to them, that they're in a great network here, and then the soccer community here is of relative size that where they can really be connected and open up to them. So it was a fantastic experience for them. I mean, these boys work very hard at the game, and to be like this, to be at an event like this, it's a great marker for them, and just how far they've come. It's a great reward for them.
What did you learn today?
I learned, especially from the defensive side of the ball, just how to apply it and to pay attention to the finer details. I mean, these boys are very technically strong, moving the ball forward. So as they grow up and learn what it is to actually compete at a high level, it's important to be well-rounded on both sides of the ball. So just the fine details that Tom Goodman had were just fantastic, and the way that he approached it was very easy to pick up and apply. So it was an awesome session.
Young man, what is your name?
Jacob Dom.
Did you have fun today?
Yes, I did.
That's what it's all about. What did you learn today?
Well, we need to always stay high pressure, and we need to close, and you can't be rectangle, you'll get split.
We are now joined by one of the parents, Cosmo Matsafera. Cosmo, what brings you out here with your son today?
Well, I found it great that the coach was out with the boys, and even though they had never met the coach before, he was able to connect with them right away. And many of the defensive tactics that he taught them, they were able to, instantly learn from his coaching. So it's fantastic.
This is so important. And again, as I mentioned to the coaches over there, he was very calculated in how he talked to the kids. Many a times you didn't hear him say anything at all.
Exactly. Yeah. He let the boys play. And a lot of times when he was giving instruction, he actually went down to their eye level, which is very important, face-to-face with them, and said, hey, great job. This is what I was looking for. They went back and they absolutely followed his lead. And
he talked to them like men. He treated them like men, but he also wanted their attention when he needed something done the right way.
Yeah. I mean, he did that as well. He was keeping... he was able to understand that he had coaches around him, and so he was talking to the boys and at the same time able to talk to all the coaches in the surrounding area. He was connecting with both at the same time.
How vital and important is this for long-term player development in the province of Ontario and in Canada, that we get coaches like this implementing their ideas to the Canadian and Ontario coaches here?
I think it's fantastic that you had a number of coaches here, over 300 coaches I think it was, and they were all observing, taking his lead. Many of them had notepads out. They were taking notes, videotaping. Very important for us to learn from, international coach type of levels. Absolutely.
Let me ask you this. We'll close it out with this. You were here today as a guest, but would you come next year and pay and buy a ticket to watch and learn?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I would pay to have my son participate if that's what it would take, because just the instruction was fantastic. Yeah.
This is what it's all about, learning and wanting to learn more each and every year.